is a brutal baptism in store in front of touchdown Jesus? And will it be the third-generation Georgian or the young pup who can get it done against the Gamecocks? College Game Day gets it rolling with Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy from Texas.
Well, we're coming to your city. Well, we flew through Oklahoma, Alabama, and through Georgia, trying to get on down to Florida for the game. And then we loaded up our tailgate, joined a convoy on the freeway, headed north to see them Buckeyes of Notre Dame. Victory for USC, Bulldogs barking at the Wolverine. Hook 'em horns and give me that Rocky Top Tennessee.
32 down, set. You love football, you know what's next. Got it locked on ESPN. Tell your family and friends, cause Fowler, Corso, and Herb Street got the lowdown on the rivalries. Buckle your chin strap, you're ready to play. It's time to kick off College Game Day.
To your city. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, if you want a little zing in your zang zang, if you want a little ting in your tang tang, come along. Yeah, we're coming to your city.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
It was a classic a year ago. Texas beef and belief beat the Buckeyes on their own turf and launched a title run. Now the Longhorns leader has left as the Bucks flow in for a rematch with this year's championship chase at stake. And welcome to Austin, Texas. The Longhorns riding a 21-game winning streak into this primetime collision tonight on ABC with Ohio State. 40,000 Buckeye faithful, we are told, have made the journey down here to Austin, Texas. Teach this somewhat blasé Texas crowd how to do it. I know it's 10 hours to kick off. We got to get these folks up, and Bevo is helping us out. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Herb Street. Feeling like Ann Arbor for you here this morning, my friend. The Buckeye fans lined up right behind you here. This should be something special. These 1 versus 2 games, guys, are the kind of games that create memories vivid enough to last a lifetime.
And remember, this is the first time one has played 2 here in Austin for 56 years. This is a once-in-a-lifetime game.
You know, and the fact these teams played last year, from the time they walked off the field, I think both fan bases had been waiting for this rematch today in Austin.
This kind of thing is a rarity. It's almost extinct in college football. Thank goodness these teams have the cojones to schedule a game like this. Other early 1 versus 2 games, 89. Rocket Ismail, 2 touchdowns in the second half against Desmond Howard's Michigan team as the Irish went into the big house and won. 86, this was special. Vinny Testaverde and the Hurricanes at home against Oklahoma. Michael Irvin, Brett Perriman starred. Canes won it by 12 in 81. Oklahoma again the victim. The Sooners fumbled 10 times. Marcus ran wild. Late touchdown. USC won in the Coliseum. And way back in 68, Mike Phipps and Purdue go into South Bend and beat up on the Irish. Phipps beat the Irish 3 times in his career. So how big is this? Well, it's the first regular season matchup in 10 years. It's the earliest ever. These 2 teams have never lost combined in 1 versus 2 games. Now, the last 2 regular season 1 versus 2 games, the loser actually recovered to win the national championship. Florida State in 93 and Florida back in 96. But it took upsets, big upsets, to pave the path to redemption. Only the winner here tonight really controls their destiny for the inside track to the championship game. It is the kind of collision that tests character and reveals leadership and demands that the unproven, like Texas freshman quarterback Colt McCoy, grow up instantly. White lights, big stage, raucous and rowdy. It takes a very extraordinary team to walk in here as a visitor and seize the victory. Texas was that kind of team a year ago. Ohio State believes it's that kind of team here.
Boy, you're absolutely right. You know, Texas fans really like their chances here. Why? Well, Texas has won 16 straight in Austin. They beat 9 straight ranked teams in that stadium. But not so fast, my Texas friends. Remember last year, Ohio State had beaten 36 straight non-conference opponents in the Buckeye Stadium. And Texas beat them. So the object is in this game, forget streaks. When it's 1 versus 2, anything can happen.
You're right about that. The emotions are going to be flying high, and that always seems to affect games in a different way. One of the things that I think are going to be very interesting to watch in this game is for Texas, with a young quarterback, is to see the leadership on the offensive side of the ball. I think we all talked about it in the past for Texas. Before the Vince Young era, one of the knocks on Texas is in a big game like this, they got conservative, played not to lose, and sometimes looked to be coaching not to lose. Without Vince Young in the big game like this, how will they approach it? Will they be conservative, be careful, or will they attack with a young quarterback with all that talent around him? That could be an indication of how well Texas does with Colt McCoy.
Right? It takes a lot to win this game, but I think the winner really gains and grows. That Texas team that was doing the hook 'em horns and singing the eyes of Texas after the game in the shoe was a different team than what came in there. I think that was the springboard to beat Oklahoma.
Sure. That's why this is such a great opportunity
and win the
for
Rose
both
Bowl.
teams.
Both teams can gain a lot from winning tonight. Much more on this game coming up. We'll break down every aspect of the Longhorns and the Buckeyes. Also, big game in the SEC today as Georgia goes in to pay a visit to Mr. Spurrier. And maybe the toughest ticket ever at Notre Dame as Jopa and Penn State come calling. We'll break that game down in detail as well. You know, Bo knew football and baseball. Dion did it on the diamond. Will a Fighting Irishman be the next two-sport superstar? Plus, on the heels of a big win versus Cal, go behind the scenes at Tennessee. We're all access with the Vols coordinator. And a hero on the field, but an even bigger one off of it. How Texas quarterback Colt McCoy helped save a man's life.
What's the matter, Mom?
Well, I'd love to have new floors in here, but I don't know how to tell your dad.
Dad! Mom wants new floors!
See today's most innovative flooring ideas at the Home Depot Home Show. Like DuPont Real Touch Elite Laminate that looks just like real tile. And right now, get 20% off your complete installed carpet purchase of $2.99 or more. Now at the Home Depot Home Show.
點俾佢遠方嘅一位朋友樂意收聽。
我等着你回來，還不回來，
92,000 are here at the Coliseum as two of the biggest rivals in college football, Notre Dame and USC, on a perfect football afternoon.
All right, let's see what happens.
Introducing the world's smallest camera flip phone. Take up to 9 pictures with one push of a button. The Pantech C300, only from Singular. Beautiful features, fashionably small. Singular, raising the bar.
Bergwood, you're on the goalpost truck, you're on the car, I'm on lookout. Bergwood, are you wearing spandex?
Yeah, I got them out of my mom's drawer.
It's very sexy.
You think?
No. Yeah! Go, 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 go!
This is gonna look great in my yard.
Bergwood?
Is the strength of Allstate behind your favorite college football team?
Where should you be right up until kickoff? You guessed it. The crew is back for another season of Countdown. Can Tio and the Tuna get along? And is Carson better than ever? Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. And in part by Coca-Cola. Football is best enjoyed refreshed. And Singular, raising the bar.
Inside those Buckeye jerseys tonight and on Texas, they're going to wear undershirts with special fabric bladders. You can put chilled compressed air in there in a timeout to kind of cool off the upper body. It was supposed to be really hot here tonight, but kind of a cool start to the day, so they'll see if they employ that technology. In the SEC, Kirk, Gamecocks protected a 6-game conference winning streak against Georgia.
This, I think, had the chance to be one of the better games of the day. Georgia at South Carolina. Thomas Brown and the Bulldogs running game has got to be able to get on track with the issues they have at quarterback. But will it be enough? Because South Carolina's defense is very athletic and bringing a lot of pressure. Georgia's running game against South Carolina's athletic, aggressive defense. Something to watch and a very exciting game down there.
And how about Clemson at Boston College? Watch today as Clemson comes out smoking and uses their superior speed, especially on offense. Number 14 quarterback Will Proctor threw for 166, 3 touchdowns in the opener. And they got a tailback, number 1 James Davis. He gives the Tigers balance. 5'11", 210. Sophomore has the ability to be a 1,000-yard rusher.
In Death Valley, a stern test for the junior Stoops troops. Arizona euphoric after beating BYU, but a sluggish running game could let LSU tee off on Willie Tuatama. See if the Wildcats can bear down on defense enough to pull the big upset down there in Baton Rouge. May not count for a lot of offense tonight, Kirk.
How about Oregon and Fresno State? And look at this. Pat Hill actually gets a big-time program to come into his stadium. They're known to be a spoiler. Jonathan Stewart, coming off a big game, will not start tonight with an ankle expected to play. He will have to have a good game as the Bulldogs look for a possible upset over a BCS team and a team that looks good in the Oregon Ducks.
How about Penn State and Notre Dame? Today, watch Notre Dame use a balanced offense to score against the excellent Penn State defense. Number 10, Brady Quinn, scores on a draw play, clutch touchdown. That was sensational. Number 3, Darius Walker, has speed to get to the outside. This run beat Georgia Tech right there.
Oh, down here in Austin, we got a displaced Notre Dame fan. He couldn't get a ticket in South Bend, so he's down here. What a pep rally last night. 35,000 at Notre Dame Stadium. Charlie Weiss, we're going to pass out the green, terrible towels and try to get the crowd going. I'm told the grass is about an inch and a half.
Yeah, of course.
They're ready
Absolutely.
for Penn State. It is Anthony Morelli, that young quarterback, ready. He's a junior, but it's his first road start. All those playmakers are very young. I think Paterno probably thought maybe he was a year away, but you know, the young playmakers coming along. We're going to find out very soon if Penn State is BCS Bowl worthy this year. This is a big test for him here
This
today.
is a big test, and in my opinion, they're going to have to prove that they can pull off an upset against a team like Notre Dame, a team like Ohio State, or a team like Michigan. As you go down their schedule and you add up about 9 wins, I really think this Penn State team can be good with Morelli, with the scheme and the athletic ability that they have on the outside, Tony Hunt on offense. But realistically, for this team to be able to get over the hump and get to a BCS Bowl game, they've got to be able to get big offensive production. Michael Robinson was such a big part of this offense last year, running and throwing and providing the leadership. The only thing I can say, Lee, is when you look at the whole country, you're going to have to get to 10 wins,
Exactly.
10-2 to be a potential at-large team to go to the BCS. They're going to have to pull off an upset. I don't know if they can do that this year.
Well, I got a couple of questions myself about Penn State after the opener. Number 1, the running game averaged less than 3 yards a carry against Akron. And Akron kept the ball for over 37 minutes against that Penn State defense. Those are 2 big question marks. I don't know if they could beat Notre Dame. Poor old Penn State, they probably don't have a chance against the Fighting Irish, but you never know.
It's a tease.
Yeah, that was called
that offensive line is definitely a concern
Chris.
for Penn State. You know, you're right, though. Paterno's not making this seem like it's the end of the world because he knows there are games at Ohio State and against Michigan coming up, but he hasn't allowed his players to talk to the media at all. Total shutdown. And Joe's not talking to anybody either, including his wife, but he has kind of quietly a good feeling about this one, I think.
Really?
I think he does.
You got 2 leans here. We'll
I didn't say it.
That's a
No,
lead.
he's the lead.
That's
I'm
all
not
right.
doing it either way.
Okay.
All right, predictions here. Ohio State will beat Texas, and Penn State will lose to Notre Dame. We'll find out if you guys agree. Do we even need you to predict? We've got fans here who have all the answers. Ted Ginn Jr., will he have the answers tonight, or can a shorthanded Texas secondary shut down number 7? Plus, before he wore an Aggies uniform, Mark Dodge wore a military uniform. On September 11th, he was at the Pentagon when terror struck. His harrowing ordeal ahead.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
Whoa there, Sparky. If you're used to hot dogs, you may tend to over-condimentize your brat. See, dogs get all their flavor from the outside, but when you got a fresh, juicy Johnsonville brat on the bun, the flavor is built right in. A kiss of mustard is all you'll ever need. Welcome to heaven on a bun. Welcome to Johnsonville.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
So you want to watch a DirecTV pay-per-view movie or event, but you aren't sure how to order. That's okay. Let me introduce myself. I'm the select or buy button on your remote control. Hey, how you doing? If your receiver's connected to a phone line, you can choose your pay-per-view program and then press me, moi, to buy and confirm your order. Okay? It's also okay to order online, or you can also use the phone. No matter how you order, it's all okay. And remember to order early so you don't miss the start of your program. Whew. DirecTV pay-per-view, always the best seats in the house. Okay?
And welcome back, College Game Day in Austin, Texas, as we savor this rare treat. Non-conference game between heavyweights in September. I was all set to tee off on the 1A teams and schedule 1AA teams a week ago, and then 3 of them went and lost. Colorado, Duke, and New Mexico beaten by 1AA teams. But I'm still going to tee off today because the only thing more embarrassing than scheduling one of these discount de facto games against a 1AA team is actually losing it. Adding a 12th game in college football has not been a positive thing. It's been kind of a joke. 74 1A teams adding 1AA teams to the schedule. And the worst part about it is they now count towards the minimum number of bowls for wins for bowl eligibility, which is 6. And that really makes it a joke. But you got to fill those 64 bowl slots. It's not going to happen like most good ideas in this sport. But I wish more leagues would follow the lead of the Pac-10, which scheduled a 9th conference game. Again, it's not going to happen. Sam Houston State, they are all pumped up here.
Oh, boy.
With the visit by Sam Houston and maybe Rhett Bomar against Texas. Nicholls State, what do you got for me on Nicholls State? The Colonels against the Cornhuskers today.
Well, it's Nebraska's last walkthrough. They had a walkthrough against Louisiana Tech last week. They get a walkthrough today for Nicholls State before they get ready for USC on the road to the Coliseum next week. I'll tell you guys, Zach Taylor came alive last year, late in the year, and he's going to continue to have a great day, go in with a lot of momentum as they get ready next week for a big showdown out at the Coliseum to find out how good they really are against the Trojans.
Eastern Washington got crushed by Oregon State. Eagles at the number 6 Mountaineers.
Yeah, but today, watch West Virginia. They'll score 1,000 points against powerhouse Eastern Washington. Tailback Steve Slayton, he's got great speed, 14-yard touchdown run there. But this guy, Pat White, can fly as a quarterback. These guys are good. Don't be surprised if West Virginia doesn't beat Eastern Washington really good.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't beat him good. Yeah, and they have a short week to get ready for Maryland on Thursday night in primetime on ESPN. All of their key games, the game at Louisville, at Pittsburgh, happen to be on Thursday night. We'll see them a lot here. Very interesting.
See them next week.
Squeak by the Eagles tonight. Don't you worry about that one. Tonight, of course, as you probably know, the Texas secondary remains shorthanded against Ohio State and Ted Ginn, although Terrell Brown, the starting cornerback, did get some good news last night. The marijuana possession charges have been dropped by police, but the allegations of misdemeanor weapons possession charges remain, and Brown is still suspended until further notice, along with Tyrone Gatewood, another player on Texas. Now, here is the situation backing up Brown at corner against Ginn tonight. You've got number 29, Ryan Palmer, and number 28, Brandon Foster backing up Brown. There is a reason why Brown was in there as the starter. You can see, though, these guys have some experience. Hard enough for a top-shelf corner to contain Ginn. Texas held him to 2 catches a year ago, but Ginn caught 2 touchdowns in the opening series last week. He is more dangerous than ever.
He is so dangerous. You can forget about it.
Head may be as explosive as any player in the country.
He's got tremendous speed. Great speed. Look out. And it's got a turbo kicking in.
He kind of mesmerizes you as you watch film on him because you're saying, wow, is that good?
Wow. Park, Ginn. Nobody's going to catch it. Touchdown. 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 Ohio State.
He does it every game. I don't think there's any way really to stop him.
I'm anxious to see him, against the top-notch folks.
Ted Ginn Jr. on the loose. Makes another man miss. He's unbelievable.
As long as we get the victory, that's all I want.
And he might take it home.
Let the numbers and Heisman and all that take care of itself.
The electrifying number 7.
He has been electrifying. A special connection between Ginn Jr. and Troy Smith. They grew up in Cleveland. Teddy's father was the coach at Glenville High School, has been a pipeline. So how does Texas cope with this improved, more electrifying number 7 tonight?
Well, first of all, I don't think you'll see many changes because of the corner situation. Why? Because Texas has the most and best powerful defensive backs they've had in years around this place. So watch the Texas defense. They will channel and funnel everything inside. They'll force the Texas receivers inside, funnel them into the inside because they're smaller, and then, wow! They're going to whack them in the middle with Michael and Marcus Griffin. And I'm telling you, when they come across that middle, watch out because, boom, those guys are sensational hitters in the middle. Force them in the middle. Don't let them deep and outside, sweetheart.
Well, sweetheart, I think when you lose Terrell Brown, you don't necessarily lose your best cover corner. There's been a lot of talk about that this week. Aaron Ross for Texas is their best cover corner, and I'm sure he's going to get opportunities, number 31, to follow Teddy Ginn. This is a different wide receiver this year for Ohio State and Teddy Ginn than the one that Texas faced last year. Last year he only had 2 receptions for 9 yards. He is a speed guy. He can run by you, but this is the area now, guys, that he's changed. He is now recognizing coverages. He's doing a very good job of seeing and adjusting his routes and also making catches underneath. Short little route like this now, he has the ability to make people miss. He's comfortable in his surroundings and has an ability to get upfield and make people miss, and obviously the speed to go the distance. How Texas handles that, I think, will be interesting. The other thing is, with Terrell Brown gone, Aaron Ross, of course, watching Teddy Ginn, the new corner stepping in, Anthony Gonzalez, number 11 for Ohio State, has a very good opportunity to become even a big factor because Terrell Brown is out. That's experience that you lose in Terrell Brown.
Yep. I'm glad you brought Gonzalez up because he's got sneaky speed as well. And while your Texas DBs are all obsessed with number 7, keep an eye on Gonzalez. He was the guy that really hurt Michigan.
Yep. Absolutely. They're going to force Gonzalez across the middle, too.
Now, tight end may not be the weapon at Ohio State that it has been in previous years.
No.
Frost out. Yep. Much more on this game, plus a very special story coming up next. Before becoming an Aggie, he was serving his country. How Mark Dodge is now dealing with the horror that he experienced 5 years ago Monday.
Thinking of everything I saw, everything I did, and cried for the families and cried for my family, and it was hard.
ESPN.com Fantasy Football Guide on newsstands now.
I'm told that I'm very photogenic.
From the director of Scarface.
No reporters view the body.
Comes the untold story of the greatest unsolved murder in history.
Who killed the Dahlia?
The Black Dahlia. Rated R. Starts Friday.
Woo! See, kids? Isn't this better than flying? Yeah. Look! Vagabonds!
Couldn't use your credit card miles, huh?
Yeah, they blacked us out.
You should switch to Capital One.
What smells like old cheese?
Oh, that's just Earl.
Oh, it's just Earl, honey. Switch to Capital One's new no-hassle rewards. Now with no blackout dates, no earn caps, and no miles expiration. This is our stop! You want to hit the ground rolling! Okay!
Ooh! What's in your wallet?
It's time to head southwest during Applebee's new Southwest Fiesta. Try everybody's new favorite, the Quesadilla Burger. Angus beef wrapped in a tortilla, smothered with pico de gallo and pepper jack cheese. Only at Applebee's Southwest Fiesta right now.
Saturday. Nothing to complain about, unless you're working, in which case we hope you're complaining. It's college football day, so that should tide you over. Then try to get home and throw the ball around with your friends' kids, your friends' kids' friends. Then rest up, because there's only 2 days till a doubleheader on Monday night. 2 days till the Vikings face the Redskins at 7 o'clock and the Chargers take on the Raiders at 10:15. 2 days until 2 games. Now that alone is a reason to smile, even if you're working.
College Game Day, brought to you by Chevrolet, America's brand. Chevy, an American revolution.
And welcome back to Game Day in Austin. Monday, of course, marks the 5th anniversary of the September 11 terrorist attacks, tragedies that continue to affect us in ways both profound and mundane. For one player who'll take the field today for Texas A&M, the events of that awful day continue to echo in a very personal way. Here's Jeremy Schaap.
On September 2nd, Mark Dodge, a junior linebacker at Texas A&M, stepped out onto Kyle Field for the first time as an Aggie. Long before he wore the maroon and white, Dodge wore a different uniform, a uniform synonymous with tradition and valor. The Old Guard, the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment. Its officers and enlisted men are the elite, selected for their intelligence and athleticism. For nearly 4 years, Mark Dodge was a soldier of the Old Guard. On the morning of September 11, 2001, Dodge was at the Pentagon, filling out paperwork when he felt one of the world's largest buildings begin to shake. The Pentagon had been hit by American Airlines Flight 77.
Instinctively, everybody evacuated the building, and once you got outside, you could see the big plumes of smoke from the other side of the building. Instantly, I left, went back to my company.
By the time the flames at the Pentagon had been extinguished, Dodge and the rest of his platoon were waiting outside. Their job was to recover the dead.
You're picking up debris, moving debris, and you find a body here and there, and then you got to bag the body and take it outside. And I mean, you saw, pieces in some cases.
For 2 weeks, Dodge performed his grim duties. After came the nightmares and anguish.
I sat on my bed and I just started thinking of everything that had happened for the last 3 weeks, and I broke down, cried for a while, just thinking of everything I had saw and everything I did, and cried for the families and cried for my family, and it was hard.
Soon after 9/11, Dodge decided not to extend his military commitment. He had other plans. He'd been an all-state receiver at his high school in Nevada, but there had been no scholarship offers to play at the next level. More than anything, he wanted a chance to play college football.
I just started looking on the internet of what junior colleges are out there, and I probably called 30 different schools. Maybe more. Not a single one called me back.
But Dodge kept calling Feather River, a junior college in Northern California, and it was there that he enrolled in the fall of 2004. As a 23-year-old freshman linebacker, he played so well that soon he received several scholarship offers. But a soldier at heart, he decided that Texas A&M, with its military tradition, was the perfect fit.
The Corps cadets will rally around Mark, and the 12th Man will rally around Mark, and Mark's history is a perfect fit with Texas A&M's core values and the patriotism that this school stands for.
September 2nd, Kyle Field. In his first game, on his first play from scrimmage, Mark Dodge made a tackle in the backfield.
What a nice hit by Mark Dodge.
On the next, he helped force a fumble. The Aggies went on to win 35-3.
Oh my God, you're awesome! You're awesome!
At 25, Mark Dodge is starting over. 5 years after 9/11, he's no longer in the old guard. He's nowhere near the Pentagon. And while those darkest hours still come back to him in nightmares, they also inspire him.
You see something like that, it gives you a whole new thought on life. You never know when it can end. You got to take every day as it is. Enjoy every day. I mean, I go out to practice now and love every practice for every practice, because I know I could be doing something a whole lot worse.
Mark Dodge, he deserves a salute, and he gets one even from the faithful here in Texas, which is not particularly fond of Texas A&M. You know, Dodge is a first-year player, but he was voted to the Leadership Council by his teammates. That's something very rare, and he's 25 years old. His teammates have heard his stories and listened to his wisdom. They call him Grandpa, as Jeremy said, a very effective player in the opener. He'll take on Louisiana Lafayette today for Texas A&M. But the game that Mark Dodge is looking forward to when the Aggies take on Army, because it's a rare chance for an enlisted man to lay a lick on a future officer from West Point. Mark Dodge, save a thought for him on Monday's anniversary. College Game Day will continue from Austin, Texas, right after this.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge to help you find your perfect
Flat panel TV.
I pledge to watch football only on Saturday and Sunday.
I pledge to set up your HD right.
And Monday.
I pledge to show this off to my girlfriends.
And sometimes Thursday.
I pledge to beat anyone's price. I pledge to be the house where all the kids want to hang out.
For the ultimate viewing experience, I pledge to get you the best picture quality for your HD TV. Guaranteed. But we'll give you a $100 Best Buy gift card. That's HD done right at Best Buy.
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Ohio State versus Texas. Tonight at 8, college football lives here.
This Mexican Independence Day, Marco Antonio Barrera and Rocky Juarez are going to do it again.
Big left hook by Barrera. Juarez backs Barrera off with a big left hook.
Barrera won the first fight.
Barrera rips Juarez with an uppercut.
Now, Juarez seeks to settle the score.
Juarez with two huge right hands. Both men score heavily.
Balls to call. Saturday, September 16th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. Don't miss it. Live on DirecTV pay-per-view channel 123.
Now DirecTV's got some super fan rigmarole that takes you to any game when a team gets in the red zone and is about to score. Well, yippee. Maybe it'll hold your hand and take you for ice cream, too.
The biggest plays as they happen. The Red Zone channel from Superfan, only on DirecTV.
So this DirecTV Superfan tchotchke lets you watch an entire game in 30 minutes? There's no shortcuts in football, Buttercup. Football is hard work. And groin pulls.
Every play in 30 minutes. Shortcuts from Superfan, only on DirecTV.
If you haven't discovered the miracle of fusion, it's time you did. Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, plus the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual and battery powered. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Gillette Fusion.
Today's Gillette Game Face, brought to you by the Gillette Fusion Game Face College Tour. Visit us online at GilletteGameFace.com for a chance to win a trip to the College Football National Championship or a trip to go backstage at ESPN Studios.
There's old Bebo. Your cousin, Lee.
Yep.
Maybe hear from Lee. Our Gillette Game Face of the day. They're not so much into body paint here as some places. We thank these guys for representing. This is definitely a tough ticket here in Austin. All those Buckeye faithful coming down here and driving up the ticket prices, trying to take over the stadium. But you realize that according to StubHub.com, which is kind of a online marketplace for fans to buy and sell tickets, Penn State Notre Dame actually $822 per ticket is the average price. In the years of the ticket lottery at Notre Dame, this is the toughest ticket ever. 67,000 requests to Notre Dame. It'll be a tough ticket up in Boise, Idaho, because the Broncos are off to a great start Thursday. They smacked around the Beavers out of the Pac-10. Ian Johnson, the sophomore, ran wild for 5 touchdowns. He's got 7 touchdowns in 2 games. And Boise State's at Wyoming next Saturday. But I want to ask you something, Mr. Herbst. After watching them destroy Oregon State, spotting them a 14-zip lead and then rolling, is this team BCS Bowl worthy with the new rules to make it a little bit easier for a non-BCS league to get in there?
Before I answer that, I have to get an assist here to the old wise one of the set. You said preseason that they were, and after watching them, LC, I was thinking about you the entire game because Ian Johnson would start for a lot of teams in this country. He is a talented running back. The only team that can beat Boise State on their schedule is Boise State. If they show up ready to go, Chris Peterson has his team. First year as a head coach in the BCS playing Louisville in the Fiesta Bowl. That's John Junker's deal out in the Fiesta Bowl.
Hey, thank you very much for that, Rob. I also want to remind everybody in that preseason show, I picked California to win the national title. Okay, not quite over
Why
yet.
you bring yourself down?
But Boise State, let me tell you something. They're going to run the table, go to the Fiesta Bowl. I said it before the season, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What about TCU? TCU is actually ranked ahead of Boise right now. They're going to they got a chance to run the table.
They'll lose the game.
Right, so Thursday, the WAC smacked around the Pac-10. They meet 4 times today on the field. The showcase game is Oregon visiting Fresno State in the Valley. Mike Bellotti tries to become the all-time win leader at Oregon, but a big concern is Jonathan Stewart. He's the guy that flattened Stanford. He's the tailback. He's not going to start with an ankle sprain. He could play. Jeremiah Johnson, not the mountain man. He will get the call. Bellotti's never lost to a WAC team, but boy, this looks like a potential upset trap for the Ducks. Short-handed, perhaps a tailback.
Well, I think this is a team that in Fresno State, they always try to pull off the upset. Pat Hill really believes that his team every year has a chance to do that, but very rarely do they get a chance at home to be able to pull it off. I think the difference here is Oregon. If Jonathan Stewart can run the football and be effective running the ball, I think they have too much balance and too much firepower there, and I think their defense is athletic enough. I like Oregon. Close game there, but I like Oregon to get it done.
And we're going to hear from you later, a little bit later on, to see if you
agree.
Pull out the
agree, he said.
Not so fast. Meanwhile, Pac-10's Arizona trying to restore some conference pride. Goes into Death Valley today. LSU's Les Miles and Arizona's Mike Stoops, of course. They know each other very well from the days of the Bedlam rivalry, Oklahoma against Oklahoma State. The Bio Bengals defense hasn't allowed a touchdown the last 10 quarters since halftime of the SEC championship game. That's the nation's longest streak. Defense, no issue here. But Jamarcus Russell, I know it was against Lafayette. He was very sharp. It's going to be a bigger test for him against Arizona's strong secondary, Michael Johnson and company, against Dwayne Bowe and Craig Davis, but there are no issues with that LSU defense.
Well, LSU's an excellent football team, but they will not win the SEC West.
No?
No, because of a brutal schedule. At Auburn, at Florida, at Tennessee, at Arkansas, a home game against dangerous Alabama, and then the SEC title game. Forget about it. That's unfair. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. They better be careful today, because this is a game where they're really looking ahead for the old Florida Gators.
Well,
and then Arizona, closer than the experts
Arizona
think.
wins? Closer?
No, closer.
Closer than the experts think. That preseason show that we talked about, we did break down that schedule. And Florida's schedule, they might be both the 2 most talented teams, but they're not going to win because of those schedules. I think Arizona has a chance, and the reason they have a chance is Mike Stoops is in his 3rd year now, has a team that believes that they have a shot to be competitive, a quarterback who's athletic, and a defense that is very, very underrated. They'll keep it close. At the end, on the road in the humidity, LSU gets it done, but don't be shocked to watch this game and see a 1-possession game into the 4th quarter.
Really?
Yeah. Close. Yeah,
you guys keep mentioning that preseason show. I wish I'd been with you back there mid-August. A lot of wisdom apparently came out of that show.
Well, you were tennis, wasn't
it? LSU.
Maybe
or
Arizona.
Riding the horses?
Could be somewhere.
In prime time. All right, fellas. Get your yucks in.
Riding the bike?
When we come back, what's it like to be a Buckeye? Go behind the scenes with Senator Tressel in a scrimmage before the season.
Let's go gold pony. Gold pony. There's a good choice. Now give him a ball.
Yeah, we're coming to your city.
Live Tuesday. America, are you ready to do it? With Emmett Smith, Monique Coleman, Jerry Springer, Vivica A. Fox, Joey Lawrence, Sarah Evans, Mario Lopez, Harry Hamlin, Shayna Mokler, Tucker Carlson, and Willa Ford. Let's do it. Dancing with the Stars, 2-hour premiere, Tuesday, 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Can anyone tell me what happened to Napoleon when he tried to invade Russia? Brian?
Hey, Ryan.
Somebody's going to get their first loss here tonight. It's not going to be us, is it? No, sir! We could take him.
It's all you, Ryan.
Fourth down, last chance for the Hawks.
Blue 80, eye the ball, Ryan. Greetings, and go. Come on, Ryan.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Only Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
Most kids that make a bad choice, they get grounded. Then there's kids that make a bad choice. Those kids get sent here.
You want to start a football team?
Exactly.
This Friday.
Hey! You don't know how to spell Mustangs? You have got to be kidding me!
One goal.
What is this? A nose guard.
A second chance.
If you accept this challenge,
Gonna be winners.
The Rock. Gridiron Gang.
Who are they? They accepted the challenge.
Rated PG-13.
And welcome back to Austin. Of course, the coaches in this game tonight certainly carrying the torches for legends, Royal and Woody. Nice, look at the nice little shots that Woody had the black and white back in the day here. Very, very similar winning percentage, similar number of conference titles, equal number of national titles. Of course, Mac Brown, Jim Tressel have both delivered. Post-Woody title at Ohio State. He's got a taste of his temperament on the field at a preseason scrimmage.
Let's go gold pony. Gold pony. Hey, we need a guy out here. Heads up, man. Heads up. Gray. Trev, get out of there. There's a good choice. Now, give him a ball. Does he know what to do? Yeah, there he's got it. Regular. Here we go. See what he's got. He's got too high. Second group.
On the opposing side tonight, a defensive coordinator has been on the winning sideline 29 consecutive games. Gene Chizik first at Auburn, and then, of course, at Texas a year ago. Look at that average points allowed, less than 14, forcing 28 turnovers, or 30 interceptions, and only allowing 28 touchdowns. So, we're out here on the demo field to talk about what Jim Tressel says, Desmond, is the big key to this game. They got to improve the open field tackling from the opening game.
Yeah, that's true. With today, the athletes in today's game, you have Jamal Charles and Selvin Young of Texas and Ted Ginn Jr. of Ohio State. Tackling is going to be very key. Open field tackling, those guys can get out there and flat out do it. What we're going to do is, Lee and I'm going to be a runner, you're going to be a defender. We're going to demonstrate open field running and tackling. Say I'm Jamal Charles, I'm out in the open field. The first thing I want to do is go to the defender and give him a hard step inside and a hand fake. Now I have him where I want him. I can plant to the sideline, or I can get jiggy with it and spin away from him and go up the sideline. Either way, a skill position player loves to get to the sideline because there's less danger out there. Plus, he gets a chance to turn on the jets. Now, Lee, being a former defensive back, how did you make a tackle on a skill position player today?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to tackle you. We got another guy up here. Hey, you, come here, kid. Right here. How about Lance Armstrong? Yeah. Right here, face it. And the big thing is, without your bite. All right, now, the first thing you do is you come up, you start about 3 yards away from him, you break down, you watch him, you keep your eyes in there, you watch the football, you put your football on the face, and then you take him down. And then tackle him. That's the way you do it. All right.
They didn't tell you to bring a helmet? They didn't tell you to bring a helmet today? Hey,
watch out for this guy.
This is not about endurance. You understand that? It's a whole different deal.
I understand. Now I understand.
What do you like tonight? Let me guess.
Let me guess.
Give me a key to the game.
Probably a Cole McCoy relaxing and, knowing that he's got to carry the team as a young kid. I mean, obviously the team is experienced. Coach Brown.
How's a young guy going to be relaxed in this setting?
That's my point. He's got to figure that out.
How's that marathon training go? New York City Marathon?
I'm ready, man.
You're going to win it? You're going to win it? That's what people ask you.
Barefooted.
Yeah. Take down the Kenyans. Lance Armstrong, folks. Thanks for joining, buddy.
All right.
Enjoy the game.
Thank you, Lance.
We'll come back. You never know in Austin, Texas, what you're going to see. Lee and Kurt will weigh in. We got our mid-show selection coming up next.
Play fantasy football for free at ESPN.com with info from ESPN's experts built into the game and all the tools you'll need to win, including the exclusive mock draft lobby. Play for free at ESPN.com.
Pickup and SUV. Gasoline and E85 ethanol. Haul and tow. The all-new 2007 Chevy Avalanche, the most flexible vehicle out there.
With unmatched technology and innovation years ahead of its time, we've pushed the boundaries of high definition and tested the limits of reality. The new Pure Vision Plasma Display, only from Pioneer.
Ooh, what's the never-ending pasta bowl?
Oh, just pick as many sauce and pasta combinations as you want. We'll keep them coming.
Now that would bring him endless happiness.
It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with great sauces like new spinach Alfredo and our 5-cheese marinara. Pick any combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Try them all for just $7.95, plus endless breadsticks and salad.
Maybe we could try endless allowance at home.
Olive Garden, when you're here, your family.
So I get football 24/7 with Dish Network.
24/7. Come on, man, you gotta feel it.
I feel it.
No, you have got to feel it.
All right.
You're getting games every night of the week.
Okay.
It's about half the price of digital cable.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get the lawnmower.
Get football 24/7 and games every night of the week. Just $24.99 a month for 10 months. Dish Network. Better TV for all.
October 5th, 1996, a tradition begins. In front of a rowdy Buckeyes crowd, Lee Corso predicts a winner by putting on that team's famous mascot head. A muffled prediction. In the 10 years since the finale of College Game Day, rarely sees a dull moment. Log on to collegegameday.com all season long to view these 20th anniversary moments. You got to credit your lovely wife, Allison.
That's right.
For helping make that happen. With
Ohio State wasn't high on that, but she got it done for you.
She got it done. She was your fiancée then, right?
Yes, she was.
Yep.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Four
we'll
sons later.
We'll find out about the headgear. It's a well-kept secret locked in a trunk somewhere right now. But time for our mid-show selections. Game's not quite that monstrous, but a tricky road game, I think, for Texas Tech at UTEP today. And Jordan Palmer, Jared Hicks, their receivers, still not eligible academically. What about the upset trap for the Red Raiders?
Well, first of all, Texas Tech's quarterbacks have led the nation in passing the last 4 years. They got a guy named Graham Harrell this year, almost as good as the rest of them, 342, 5 touchdowns. But watch out. I'm telling you, that Texas Tech team is good enough to challenge Texas for the Big 12 title. They're a pretty good football
especially
team.
That game's in Lubbock this year, which
very
is tough.
good point.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a struggle here, but there's just too much offense and too much firepower. Another quarterback steps in line.
Yep.
Graham Harrell's turn. And he's got some great receivers, so I like Texas Tech in this one.
All right, your Cal team is reeling. Jeff Tedbert's going to stick with Nate Longshore at quarterback. Marshawn Lynch will play, but he's got kind of a tender ankle as the Gophers go to Berkeley.
Yeah, but remember, my Cal team is really starting to come along. They scored 18 points in the second half against Tennessee. They now got the offense straightened away. Remember, they play Minnesota. That's not Tennessee. They win today. Go Cal.
Got that offense going against the second and third teamers from Tennessee. I think the big thing to Cal has to do is run the football. I don't care who's in there. Run the football to slow down the pass rush and protect your quarterback and help your offensive line out a little bit. I think Lynch has a big game today against the Gophers. I like Cal.
A feisty in-state rivalry. They usually are close games. Urgency for Dan Hawkins in year one after the loss to 1AA Montana State. The Rams are favored over the Buffs in the Broncos Stadium.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Dropped your
Colorado. Drop my pencil. I got another one. Just a second. Forget about it. Colorado will beat Colorado State because they were embarrassed by that Division I AA Montana State. Go Buffs.
You always travel with the backup pencil there. You just reach right in there. The other one. I think Colorado's offense, obviously grinding, trying to find an identity. Colorado State, not a bad team on defense, and their quarterback is a good player. I like Colorado State balance there, and I want to see if Chris Fowler has a pick in this game. We like CSU. You like?
He likes Colorado.
Oh, you like Colorado. Break it.
You know I got to go with, but they need to win this game. Arizona State and Georgia are coming up next for Colorado. Alabama squeaked by against Hawaii. It didn't look great in the opener. Here comes Vanderbilt, and you don't want to be the Alabama player that loses to Vanderbilt. 32 out of 33. 84 was that 1 year.
Well, Vanderbilt's defense played well halftime, 13-7 Michigan. But their offense is so poor that the Alabama defense and special teams outscores Vanderbilt's offense.
I think
Alabama's got a good ball club.
Bobby Johnson at Vanderbilt's doing a good job of at least giving him life support. And Chris Hickson impressed me, the athletic quarterback stepping in for Jay Cutler. But at the end of the day, it's on the road. And I think you're going to see Kenneth Darby have a big day, pull away, and Bama wins.
We're going to go from Crimson Tide to Scarlet Knights. We are talking Rutgers. A chance.
I like Rutgers.
A chance to go 6-0 to start the season. It is the State University of New Jersey we're talking about. But Illinois has lost 14 straight road games by an average of 24. Ouch.
Make it 15. You don't go into New Jersey and play Rutgers and come home. That's your team. I'm going with your team, Rutgers.
I like the head coach, and I think he finally has the scholarships and the players there. I think Rutgers has a chance here to not only win today, to maybe get to 7 or 8 wins. I think they're for real. I think they're helping boost the morale of the Big East. Brian Leonard and Ray Rice, big, strong offensive line, takes care of Illinois today. They're for real. Rutgers, good team.
Pretty good team.
All right, in the ACC, you get a rematch of an overtime defensive struggle a year ago as Clemson's banged up as they visit the Eagles.
Well, I think Clemson is a team to keep an eye on. I know they're banged up, and on offense, they have one of the better backs in the ACC and James Davis. A lot of talk about the freshman, but I'm telling you guys, the power today and the quickness today of James Davis will help take the pressure off of Will Proctor. Can BC at home slow down James Davis is a big key in this game. I like Clemson.
Clemson's come close so often. You look at the margin of victory in their losses, those overtime games, including the game against BC a year ago, but Clemson's got problems on defense. Anthony Waters, he's their leader, their leading tackler, out with a knee injury. Tremaine Billy, they lost in preseason camp with a broken foot. So what about that defense? I mean, is this team good enough to win this game, their ACC opener, and win this conference?
Well, they're a pretty good football team, but they're not going to win the conference. No, they got APs at Boston College, at Florida State, at Virginia Tech. They're a good football team, but they do not win the ACC.
I think they have a great chance. The concern that I have are the injuries, obviously, to Billy and Waters, especially Waters, the leader of the defense. And I don't know how many programs, as Chris said, in the nation can lose their 2 best linebackers and reshuffle and continue to be a dominant defense. We're going to find out a lot more about Clemson today. But if they recover on defense, I think they do have the ability to win today against Boston College and be a big factor, I think, in the ACC. I think they got a shot to get the ACC title, but they got to win at Tallahassee against Florida State.
Only those 2 seniors now on defense. That is a big showdown at Tallahassee. I think Chen overrated for Clemson. Who knew they hated on Clemson down here in Austin?
They hate on everybody down here.
Coming up, a lot more on the Longhorns and the Buckeyes, no matter how he plays tonight against Ohio State. Colt McCoy's hero status is forever safe. How the Texas QB helped save a man's life this summer.
My adrenaline was flowing so much that I was just trying to get over there as fast as possible, and all I could hear was her voice.
Don't forget about us, TV.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school in an exciting instructional video. Baseball World's Defensive Drills video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and the same techniques that produced his back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Collegiate Baseball Magazine's editor calls it a masterpiece, the best drill video ever produced. This video is endorsed by top professionals like superstar Fred McGriff.
This is the instructional video that gets results.
The Defensive Drills video benefits players of all ages and ability levels and makes a great gift too, so call now.
Where should you be right up until kickoff? You guessed it. The crew is back for another season of Countdown. Can Tio and the Tuna get along? And is Carson better than ever? Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Saturday. Nothing to complain about, unless you're working, in which case we hope you're complaining. But cheer up, because it's only 2 days till the Vikings face the Redskins at 7 o'clock and the Chargers take on the Raiders at 10:15.
We've been appearing in your living room for more than 4 years now, making magic for our viewers nationwide.
If you haven't seen us yet, now it's time to join in on the magic.
What's the magic, you ask? We make high prices for fine art vanish. You can now own the world's finest art at prices you won't believe. We always have the most bargains and the most fun. Every Friday and Saturday night, right here on Fine Art Treasures.
Join the fun Fridays starting at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Channel 341.
Don't miss us.
It's time to kick off College Game Day.
To your city. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, if you want a little zing in your zang zang, if you want a little ting in your tang tang, come along. Come along. Yeah, we're coming.
In Austin, Texas, crowd coming around here, 9 hours to kick off between the earliest 1 versus 2 in college football ever in the regular season in 10 years. We began about an hour ago. This is about halftime. Any halftime adjustments we need to work on here?
No.
We're doing good so far?
I got to go to the bathroom pretty soon.
Well, you've already had one pit stop. All right, well, we got plenty of time in the second half for that. In his first game, Colt McCoy, very impressive. All eyes on the replacement for Vince Young, and he did the job against North Texas in kind of a low-pressure debut. As these fans know, there is no bigger void to fill in college football than the leadership and the playmaking vacuum left by Vince Young. Remember him? He left a year early, and Colt McCoy had to step from redshirt into starter very quickly. Now, is he going to fit the job of Texas Triggerman as well as his name does? We'll begin to find out real soon if he is the real McCoy. He's a gym rat. He's a coach's son from a small little West Texas town of Tuscola that only has one stoplight. And Lee points out it's a blinking one. As Steve Cyphers tells us, though, McCoy showed heroism this summer, far more meaningful than anything he could possibly do on the football field.
This past Memorial Day at Timber Ridge Lake in Graham, Texas, Colt McCoy and his father Brad had just returned home from a day of fishing. As night fell, screams from across the lake sent them racing to the shoreline.
I heard help, help. You know, all I could hear was help. I didn't know what to do because I couldn't go around the lake. The only thing I could do was to go.
There was no hesitation from Colt or either one of us to go in the water. Even though it was kind of unknown. We'd never swam in it, and it was dark.
They dove in as Patina Harrington continued to cry out for someone to help her husband, Ken.
Help. This is Patina. I'm down at the lake. Ken's having grand mal seizures. Call 911.
Another neighbor made the call.
Ken County 911. And we need an ambulance at the Harrington's house on the far side of Timber Ridge.
My adrenaline was flowing so much that I was just trying to get over there as fast as possible, and all I could hear was her voice.
And she was just in total fear for their lives. And, oh, God, help me. My husband's dying. Please, someone help me.
Still screaming into the pitch black, moonless night, Patina Harrington knelt over her 60-year-old husband who'd had a history of seizures.
What were your worst fears at the time?
That nobody was going to hear me and that Ken was going to die.
It took nearly 4 minutes for Colt and his father to swim across the lake.
She was having a struggle keeping her husband on the dock. He was having a full seizure and bleeding out of his mouth.
And Dad said, hey, you need to run up the hill. He said, you got to get the ambulance down here when they get here. And it's a real rocky cliff where I had to go up. I couldn't see anything. I knew that there was a trail somehow, and there's a lot of big rocks and everything. And I had a little flashlight, but halfway up the hill it went out.
Colt made it to the road almost 60 yards from the dock just as help arrived.
We were met by a young gentleman. At the time I didn't know who it was, and we followed him down to the dock through the backyard. If he hadn't been taking us down there, we'd probably never found him.
I finally got him down there on the dock, and I was holding the IV for him. They kept sticking him, giving him shots, and trying to bring him back, trying to let him stop seizing.
The paramedics estimated Ken had 10, maybe 15 minutes to live. When he was stable enough to move, a team of 8, including the McCoys, carried Ken up the trail, through the rocks, to the ambulance. Three months later, Ken is doing better. So much so that he and Patina plan to attend a few Longhorn games this fall. And Colt, who returned to Austin the day after he did what he says anyone would have done, is the starting Texas quarterback to whom Ken will be forever grateful.
I was dead, but they gave my life. And thank you.
I had never been put in a situation like that, but I knew when I got down there that I said, you know, something's going to have to happen. We're going to have to go over there somehow and help this guy. And I'm glad that my dad and I were able to do that for him.
What a story. And yes, he can play quarterback. Meanwhile, doctors recently cleared Ken to make the 4-hour trip from Graham here to Austin, and he and his wife Patina will be here for this football game tonight. It's the first time they've actually seen Colt since that very frightening Memorial Day. Decision-making, poise of a very different variety. McCoy able to show that in the opening game against North Texas. It was a blowout. Only 2 of those 70 plays went for a loss. McCoy was not responsible for one of the 2 Texas turnovers, 410 yards. But again, it's going to be a lot tougher. McCoy is the 6th starting quarterback in the tenure here at Texas of offensive coordinator Greg Davis, who's been with Mack Brown forever. In the years before Vince Young arrived and blossomed, Davis was often accused of coaching somewhat conservatively in big games. And so now starting over with a freshman, it'll be very interesting tonight.
Let's have a go at
Go. Perfect. Shove the ball away. Shove the ball. I liked it. I liked it. Sell the fake. Sell the fake. Go. Ball. Check. Good transfer. Shorts can't lock. 133. Eyes downfield. Good ball. Let him work. Let him work. Let him work if he's retracing. 3 good steps. Pitch. Good. Out of the way. Throw the ball. Know where 3's at. Know where 3's at. Good. Good catch, Josh. Downstairs, guys. Downstairs.
Of course, having Vince Young was a beautiful luxury for an offensive coordinator. He can make you look good, but it is an interesting challenge now for Davis because there were maybe 7 to 10 times in each football game when they would signal the play and Davis would give the signal to the backup and they give it to Vince. Vince would say, hey, don't worry about it, Coach. I got it covered. So we'll see, Brent Musburger, how they handle things tonight with the youngster.
Exactly, Chris. What a wonderful story about him. Let's start with Kirk. What do we expect from Colt McCoy as a quarterback?
Well, first of all, you can't help but pull for the guy. He grew up in the state of Texas in a town with 714 people. He has worked and dreamed about this opportunity his entire life, and now he finally tonight has a chance to be the starting quarterback at Texas for the Burnt Orange. I'm looking forward to seeing him and seeing how quickly he can find his rhythm. It's very important for Greg Davis and Mack Brown to try to give him some passes early in the game so he can get into a comfort zone. And remember, he's facing a defense at this point has never been tested and never been in this kind of atmosphere. So how do they defend him? Do they attack him or do they pull back? That'll be a big story in this game.
Let's ask a former longtime defensive coordinator with the Aggies, Texas A&M. What would you do, Bob, against a young quarterback like this?
I'll tell you what, Brent, first thing, I was at A&M a long time. I've got to give Colt McCoy credit. Is that the perfect name for a Texas quarterback?
Unbelievable.
That might not play at Penn State or Michigan, but that is a great name. The problem Ohio State has, of course, you'd love to pressure the young freshman quarterback, give him a lot of looks, but Ohio State has 9 new starters on defense. If I'm Jim Haycock in Ohio State, I'd make Colt McCoy beat me. Don't give up the big play. Don't confuse yourself on defense.
All right, guys, and Chris, we look forward to Saturday Night Football. Going to be a dandy.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. Davis and Gene Chizik, both coordinators for Texas, won the Broyles Award the last couple of years as a top assistant. That's impressive.
That's the highest honor you could give to assistant coach. Mack Brown deserves a lot of credit for hiring those 2 guys, too.
Bob talked about the challenges for both defenses here tonight. We'll welcome in Craig James from our ABC studios, part of this Game Day alum gang back in the 20th anniversary. Craig, the Ohio State defense totally rebuilt. Mixed reviews in the openers. Garrett Wolf of Northern Illinois had some success against them. What about tonight?
Well, I think we have to assume that Ohio State's defense is going to be better in this football game. And I think you also have to assume that Greg Davis is going to try to give some confidence to Colt McCoy early on. And so how do you do that? It's the dump pass. In my mind, Ohio State has to really be in the hip pocket of the underneath receivers at Texas. They can't allow yards after catch. If they do that, they're in trouble because the confidence will come from McCoy. But I really think underneath is very important for Ohio State's defense. Man, they got to shadow those receivers out of the backfield.
Mr. James, I can't wait. I've been waiting a long time to do this. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. How about Texas's defense? You know, you study history because sometimes chances are it'll repeat itself. Let's look at last year's game at Texas-Ohio State. Ohio State's was an offensive team that got the ball 4 times inside the Ohio State, inside the Longhorn 40, and they scored no touchdowns. 4 field goals, and that kept them in the game. Now, the Texas returned 7 starters, 8 of the top 11 tacklers. I'm telling you one thing, they're going to hit that Teddy Green right in the mouth and knock him around. Texas can play, I'm telling you. Now, you know that.
I think, Lee, you may have had too much sleep last night, and your socks are too tight around your ankles right now. No, I have no doubt that Ted Ginn's going to have a big game. I mean, the guy has to step up. Last year, Santonio Holmes did the deal for them, but I just don't know. I do know this. McCoy will be nervous. It's a guarantee, but it's going to be Mrs. McCoy who's nervous, not Colt McCoy.
Hey, Corso was talking about history, Craig. I want the folks to realize it was 27 years ago this week. Wow. 27 years ago that SMU first unveiled the Pony Express backfield. Dickerson and his understudy, James. We like to play a little history here. Pony, thanks for joining us. A lot more on this game coming up, but we'll count down to kickoff all day long on ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Texas time, Ohio State and Texas. All right, a lot more coming up on that game and on Notre Dame and Penn State. One sport wasn't enough for Dion. Bo needed the pigskin and the leather, too. It's the next two sports star coming out of South Bend. Plus, call him Steve Spurrier's star, how thinking basketball made South Carolina wide receiver Sidney Rice tough to stop. And will there be any shocking upsets today? Only one way to find out. Lee and Kirk reveal their selections, the big winners and the losers coming up today. From Austin, stick around.
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Ohio State versus Texas. Tonight at 8. College football lives here.
Second down 9 from their own 35. That's over 9 is their
Wild Wings. You have to be here.
People ask me, do I see things flash before my eyes during a crash? I tell them, it's pretty much blurred streaks of metal, asphalt, grass, rubber, smoke. Oh, and those guys in fireproof suits. NASCAR 2007, rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Have you ever wanted to develop your artistic abilities? If so, you may already have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To find out, simply call toll-free, and Art Instruction Schools will send you this enjoyable art test. Since 1914, we've helped thousands of aspiring artists become more skilled, more confident, and more creative in their art. Call today for your free art test. We'll help you become a better artist. Call 1-800-633-3400.
More bars in more places. That's what people have come to expect from Singular. And now they can expect even more. Testing from the leading independent research company proves that Singular's all-over network has the fewest dropped calls of any wireless network. The fewest dropped calls. Proof that we mean what we say. Raising the bar.
You know, these game day road shows are designed to be about serious football for my two friends here. They're not really intended to be a singles hookup location. But at this matchup a year ago in Columbus, a love connection was made between a Buckeye fan and a Texas fan. And here they are 1 year ago today, one day into their honeymoon. Congratulations, Mike Schilling, the Buckeye fan. Ginger Root, his new bride from Texas. Oh, maybe a love connection is being made right now as we speak out there.
Isn't that nice?
Who knows? There's no love fest when the ball coach Spurrier takes on Georgia here. South Carolina will have its eyes focused on the Georgia quarterbacks. Joe Tereshinski III, his dad and his granddad played at Georgia, but he was 7 of 17 in the opener. Fans are impatient, and the Gamecock defense totally rebuilt. Very effective under Tyrone Nix. They plan to pressure him. They see a number of quarterbacks for Georgia in this game. Meanwhile, the Georgia defensive focus might be on number 4. The Gamecock standout wide receiver, Sidney Rice. How do you follow up a fantastic freshman year when you break the school records for receiving yards and touchdowns? Well, if you're Rice, you do what another pretty good receiver with that last name, no relation, did. You go back to work very quietly and get better. This week, Desmond visited with the talented Mr. Rice, the young one, in Columbia.
Touchdown! He caught it in traffic. Touchdown, near sideline, Sidney Rice.
Sydney. First, I'd like for you to give us a demonstration how you always seem to jump up and come down with the ball against the defender.
Basically, when I come out the ball, I give him a little something to get him off balance, get myself going. As I'm going, I'm looking for the ball. I'm going up to the highest point to try to make the play on the ball, get myself in a good position to come down with it.
Shot over the middle, got it, still fighting. It's going to be 1st and goal, South Carolina.
You have excellent hands. Definitely don't catch with your body, which is very key, especially with your size. Is it a concerted effort that you give to keep your body between the ball and the defender?
Oh, Coach, he coaches us up on that all the time. He always tell you if a DB get right here, the ball's coming right here, he's going to be upset with you. He always wants you to keep position like basketball, get position.
You a basketball player of the year, right?
Yes, sir.
15 and top leading scorer, Sidney Rice.
Does that help you in trying to position your body over a defensive back?
Yes, sir, it helps a whole lot. Like when the ball's in the air, it's basically like a rebound. When the ball's in the air, you fighting for position, using your body. So anything to get them off a little bit, give you a chance to make a play.
Rice in the end zone. Mitchell looks for him, throws into traffic. Touchdown! Desmond, I know you didn't play one-on-one with him. He posts you up. What impressed you the most about Sidney Rice?
Well, he's so big. Sidney actually put on 15 pounds of muscle during the offseason, and he shaved off 1/10 of a second from his 40 time. Now you may say, what difference does that make? Because he only caught 2 passes versus Mississippi State last week. Coaches said it wasn't Sidney's fault. It was breakdowns in the pass protection that wouldn't allow the quarterback time to get Sidney the ball. The key to the game this evening will be if the Gamecocks offensive line can't slow down Quentin Moses and that Bulldogs pass rush, there's going to be a long night for them. Sidney's going to get open, but if they can't block better than they did last week, it doesn't make a difference, Chris.
Desmond, I agree. Gurminder Thind, an inexperienced left tackle for South Carolina. He's on the hot seat. And so are the Georgia quarterbacks. Now, Matt Stafford, guy from here in Texas, the Dallas area, very highly touted recruit, chose Georgia. Fans want to see him. I mean, Joe Cox kind of dropping perhaps the number 3 in the depth chart. Stafford up to number 2 behind Joe Tereshinski. So how will the quarterbacks be used? A very good, fast, nasty defense we saw.
Well, Mark Richt is loyal to a player who's paid his dues, and Joe Tereshinski, he'll give him an opportunity in this game. But in my opinion, I think at some point, South Carolina's defense is very good and very athletic. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Georgia's running game, and I think eventually Matthew Stafford's going to come into this game, could have an impact tonight if he has an opportunity to show what he can do. Now, he's a quarterback that I think is just a very natural leader, has an ability to show what he can do, throwing the football if you can protect, and as I said, with South Carolina attacking the line of scrimmage, putting pressure on the running game. Can Tereshinski get it done? If not, Stafford will get his look. My opinion on this game is that on the other side of the ball that Desmond Howard just touched on, so much attention could be paid to Blake Mitchell, the quarterback, and Sidney Rice. Look out for Corey Boyd. He's back, he's eligible, and he had a big impact on this game last week against Mississippi State. South Carolina upsets Georgia with an athletic defense, and Corey Boyd's running late in the game against the Bulldogs. I like South Carolina.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'll tell you, that's way out there. Let me tell you something about Georgia. They can play defense. Last week, Western Kentucky had 20 plays before they got a 1st and 10. And where Georgia really plays is on the pass rush. Watch the way they're going to go after that South Carolina quarterback, starting with number 94, Quentin Moses, who led the team last year in sacks with 11.5. He got 1 in the first game. Watch him. Woo-hoo-hoo. He's a good one. Kellen Johnson, number 30. He had a fumble recovery and this interception in the game last week. But this is where I think my friend is wrong. I think Georgia wins this football game with the special teams. They've got great special teams. They kick the ball well. They return the ball well. They punt the ball well. Look at all those good things you're going to see there on the left. That's why Georgia wins this football game with special teams.
Well, you're going with that's kind of a safe pick. I mean, Georgia has beaten them. It's been close, but not quite for cocky. I don't mean you. I'm talking about the Gamecocks.
Yeah,
because it's always been a fumble or a turnover or a 2-point conversion last year.
It's always tight.
It's tight.
Always tight. It's in Columbia. I love that defense.
I want to see Stafford get in there. In the SEC, you're seeing Mitch Mustaine at Arkansas. He's going to get the start in their second game. Tim Tebow the freshman at Florida. He's supposed to get in there very early.
I know my friend is not a fan of Steve Spurrier's ability to get it done in the SEC, but I think they win. I think they win tonight.
I said before, and I'll say it again, Steve Spurrier will not win the SEC.
If he wins tonight, baby, he's 2-0 in the SEC.
Yeah, but who else has got to play?
He's got some games left.
If he's 7
a lot
in
of
a row.
football to be played.
He's 7 in a row in the league if they get tonight at South Carolina.
That's right.
Upgrade that Volkswagen you keep saying that he's driving.
Go Cox, baby. We'll see.
All right, we'll talk about chances of an SEC team from LSU crushing Arizona. Game is a night game that you can watch on ESPN2. And 7:45 is correct. It'll be a good one. It's interesting. We'll have picks on these games, and you can go at it again on Georgia, South Carolina coming up. Still to come, plenty of talk about Notre Dame and Paterno at Penn State. Jeff Samardzija, the 2-sport star, will get it done on the gridiron tonight. And wired for sound in Tennessee, David Cutcliffe. He got the Vols job done on the opener. What about today?
Tempo, throwing strikes, quarterbacks, throwing strikes. If we don't believe in this, I got a drill that lasts about 2 weeks.
The ESPN.com Fantasy Football Guide on newsstands now.
The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
Introducing the new limited edition Tony Stewart line, only by Old Spice.
The 2007 Chevy Tahoe. It has an available 320 horsepower. With the best fuel efficiency in its class. Tahoe, the power to give something back. That's an American Revolution.
Lost, the complete second season, the 7-disc set, with over 8 hours of bonus features, see on-air Lost flashbacks, exclusive character connections, uncover mysteries, and more. Lost, the complete second season, the extended experience. Own it today before the new season begins.
Hey, neighbor. Hey, buddy. Yeah, Mobile Clean 5000, huh?
This here stuff's the real deal. It protects for 5,000 miles.
Tougher men demand a tougher oil.
Tough stuff.
Mobile Clean 5000. It's the only conventional oil tough enough to guarantee protection of critical engine parts for 5,000 miles.
Hello, ladies.
Mobile Clean 5000. Seriously tough oil.
Where should you be right up until kickoff? You guessed it. The crew is back for another season of Countdown. Can Tio and the Tuna get along? And is Carson better than ever? Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Saturday. Nothing to complain about, unless you're working, in which case we hope you're complaining. But cheer up, because it's only 2 days till the Vikings face the Redskins at 7 o'clock and the Chargers take on the Raiders at 10:15.
Welcome back to College Game Day, built by the Home Depot.
There's Bevo. He's laying
ready.
down tonight. He'll wear himself out in the afternoon. He'll be laying on the field tonight, though. Hey, in the spirit of the upcoming Ryder Cup, we thought we'd take some Ohio State and some Texas alums, a matchup and match player. It's pretty good stuff.
Not bad. Look at that. Not bad at all.
Ohio State even goes deeper. You got Chris Perry. Make a prediction on that. Who wins that one?
I'll take Stanford retired where Woods. I say nothing.
Yeah, well, that's not fair. Georgia Tech's pretty good up there.
If Notre Dame's Jeff Samardzija took up golf, he'll probably be a scratch golfer in a couple of weeks here. In high school, he was a stud in football, basketball, and baseball. Never missed a start in a string of 160 consecutive games here. In year one under Charlie Weiss's system, Samardzija more than tripled the number of catches that he had in his first 2 years in the offense combined. Until that, Samardzija was best under Notre Dame as a pitcher with a 96-mile-per-hour fastball and a pretty good slider. Baseball America rated the number 20 prospect in amateur baseball this spring. He spent the summer in the minor leagues. Now, Tom Rinaldi takes over the tail of the guy they call Shark.
There was Neon Dion.
Neon Dion, goodbye, home run!
Bo Knows.
In goes Bo, touchdown.
The home run for Bo Jackson. He has powers that other people don't.
And now, Jeff Samardzija. Okay, the name's not catchy, but the player is.
He'll drop a ball, and I said, you better get that fastball heated up, because, there's no future here in this one.
I'm not a huge baseball fan, you understand what I'm saying? Seeing him out there, you definitely see that he has some skill.
Call it a tale of two seasons. As a junior receiver, Jeff Samardzija set a Notre Dame record with 15 touchdown catches and tied the school's single-season mark with 77 receptions overall. That was autumn. Spring, 8-2 is the ace of the Irish baseball staff and a fifth-round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs, where he spent his summer pitching in the minors.
I think I became more well-rounded as a pitcher. When you're playing every day, and there's no breaks like college, you have to get a lot better or else you're doing something wrong.
Finishing his Northwest League stint with a 2.37 ERA in 19 innings, Samardzija's attitude on the mound often mirrors his actions in pads.
When he scores that touchdown and makes that big play, he kind of pops up and does his little strut. You kind of see the same thing down on the baseball field, too. He would strike a guy out, and they'd be throwing it around the horn, and he'd kind of do his little walk around the mound and, get the ball again, kind of get ready for the next guy.
So, which sport will Samardzija choose? The answer right now is simple. Whatever sport is in season.
He's going to have to make one of three decisions. I'm going to play just baseball, I'm going to play just football, I'm going to play both. But right now I think he just wants to enjoy his senior year of college and playing football and being part of something special.
I think if you go ask any 12-year-old kid, who's playing Little League and Pop Warner football, and you go tell him he has to choose, he's probably going to laugh at you and think you're joking. Just put me out on the field and let me throw a ball around and, run around and have some fun. And to me, that's what it's all about.
In the opener against Georgia Tech, it wasn't the kind of explosion that the Irish and their fans expected after the high standards there in 2005. They were held scoreless about their first 13 minutes of possession time, but a couple of big, long touchdown drives at the end of the first half, and again in the third quarter got the job done. So now the challenge is a Penn State defense that's very good again this year. It's the first meeting between these two powers.
Look at
it's
that.
92. It was the Snow Bowl, fellas. Down 16-15, Rick Meyer, and the Irish go for two in the win. Meyer gets it, 17-16, Notre Dame. Back in 1990, Notre Dame was #1. In came Penn State, game-winning field goal. 10 seconds to go to spoil senior day. So great history between these programs, but not for a while. And, of course, great tradition. Their first season, identical. Back in 1887, the number of total wins, slight edge to Notre Dame. 10-win seasons. Paterno has the edge. They have more bowl wins because they were eligible to go more bowls than Notre Dame was. It declined invitations over the years. It's worth noting, however, that the total number of victories that Joe Paterno has at Penn State exceeds the number of victories that Knute Rockne, Frank Leahy, and Ara Parseghian had at Notre Dame combined. Now, that's the history lesson. Current events, a very inexperienced and rebuilt Penn State team at key places, the defense and the offensive line, and of course Anthony Morelli at quarterback, come in and take on a Notre Dame team that wants to prove something. Now, I know that inside the walls they're not panicking because they only scored 14 points. People outside the program want to know what's going on, and Brady Quinn, after what he admits was an off night in the opener, determined.
Just relax.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's getting so concerned and upset. Notre Dame's overrated. They dropped in the polls. In my opinion, if I were a Notre Dame fan or coach, this is exactly what you want. After all the preseason hype, everybody's saying, what's wrong with Brady Quinn? What's wrong with this Notre Dame offense? Relax. And today, you're going to get a good indication of how good this Notre Dame offense really can be. And I think the way they finished against Georgia Tech, people act like they did a terrible night. 3 of their last 5 drives were at least 11-play drives, including 2 14-play drives that went the length of the field and ended up winning the football game for Notre Dame. I thought they showed a lot of poise. I thought Brady Quinn didn't have a great night, but I thought he showed a lot of poise. It's an opportunity to go back to the practice field, look at the tape, and have a chance to get better. Penn State had 13 fifth-year seniors that started for them last year, including Michael Robinson. Puslesny's a phenomenal linebacker, the best in the country. He's the anchor of their defense. On the road for this young a team, look for Notre Dame to create some tempo early in this game, maybe some no-huddle, something to get the rhythm established for Brady Quinn. I think the Irish come back and look like a completely different-looking team than they did a week ago. Find the rhythm. Brady Quinn has a good game, and I like Notre Dame to beat Penn State. Too much youth on that team on the road early.
They are favored, right?
Yes. I don't follow that
really
stuff. I don't know.
Pick on your part. All right, let's take a look. No one in the history of football that followed Joe Paterno's Penn State offense would ever believe that the 2006 season started with a 42-yard touchdown pass. First play. And the amazing thing, they kept throwing. Can you believe it? And the quarterback, number 14, Anthony Morelli, is 6'4", 220, a junior, had 3 touchdown passes in the opener versus Akron. And now Morelli hits, who also went 16 for 32, no interceptions, has a touchdown pass to the Williams here. He threw this ball in the rain. So in the opener against Georgia Tech, Notre Dame's defense did not prove to me they could rush the passer, cover the wideouts, or the linebackers drop. So I'm going with Paterno, Morelli, and Corso. An Italian upset. Not so fast, my friend. An Italian not so fast. I'm going with Penn State to upset the Irish in South Bend.
All right. Mild one.
Mild. 8 points? That's a major upset.
Yeah, interesting to see, by the way, if Samardzija keeps an eye on Puslesny on the football field tonight, because it was Puslesny's older brother, Stan, who jacked up Samardzija. He played for West Virginia in the Big East baseball tournament. 2-run homer against Samardzija.
Wow.
Samardzija struck him out later on, and Notre Dame won. He wants to point that out.
Absolutely.
Payback.
That's good. Great game.
Coming up, we'll put the focus on the Longhorns and the Buckeyes from a suspension 2 years ago to a Heisman candidate today. The transformation of Buckeyes quarterback Troy Smith is coming up. And we'll go behind the scenes at Tennessee. Get an earful from offensive coordinator David Cutcliffe, who is wired.
Little things done right. There's some things on that tape that are not what we do.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
I know you do. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you?
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Ohio State versus Texas. Tonight at 8. College football lives here.
When your time is up, death will find you.
You can't cheat death. The ones who got off that roller coaster are still going to die.
I'm next.
Unless we can figure out how to stop it.
Fasten your seatbelts for Final Destination 3, the ultimate roller coaster ride.
You're dead!
Order it now on DirecTV Pay-Per-View.
Life is hard. Pay-per-view is easy. This month on DirecTV.
Please tell us the whereabouts of Codename V.
DirecTV Pay-Per-View. No driving, no waiting, no late fees. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
And welcome back. We thank the Texas band for showing up.
Yeah.
Getting it done over there.
Song, we love it. Every segment. Just keep it going. Back in 1977, he won the Heisman Trophy at Texas. He was the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell, part of the great Orange Blood legacy here on campus. And later today, a special ceremony. It's actually a private ceremony. They will unveil a statue, number 20. It's covered now. It's a secret. It's a secret, but I guarantee you that underneath that plastic wrap, it is Earl Campbell, the southwest corner of the stadium, honoring Earl. Good stuff. Are they fooling anybody? Could be a big surprise there?
No.
All right. Well, meanwhile at Tennessee, which also has a great legacy, coming off that big win against Cal in the opener. They take on Air Force today. Yeah, Eric Ainge got some confidence, and Robert Meacham had a couple of touchdowns against a very depleted Golden Bears secondary. And Air Force not known for its defensive speed, certainly. The Tennessee defense is. They have the challenge of playing assignment football, as I hear every time they've taken an option team. These guys talk about how you got to be disciplined, you got to play assignment football. But Tennessee is flying high, and they're feeling good about themselves. They're guarding against the letdown because the Mighty Gators come calling on Rocky Top, as you can see what they accomplished against Cal. So a lot of very good things in that opening game, and David Cutcliffe, who was brought back and is celebrated higher in the postseason, very successful in his return to offensive coordinator.
Quarterbacks, let's get it moving around. Start fast. Big day today.
People maybe acted surprised last week about Tennessee, but that's Tennessee football, and I'm happy to be back.
We're going to work quick, work hard, work low, pad leverage, finish, fakes. Every little thing's going to be done.
2005, it kind of made me sick, so I needed to get back to where I was, and he helped me do that, within the first 2 weeks he was here.
Now, I think you earn confidence. I think you earn maturity. Nobody can give you that.
Watch flipping it that much, Eric. Put it on him, right there. Throwing strikes, quarterbacks, throwing strikes.
We're still learning how championship teams practice, and we're getting better every day. So I think the sky's the limit with this offense.
There's not a rep out here that we waste our time.
This team's been hungry to this point. We have to maintain that. That's the key.
Little things done right. If we don't believe in this, I got a drill that lasts about 2 weeks.
That's great to see David Cutcliffe back, guys, after he left Ole Miss. Took a little bit of time off for a heart condition. He's the guy, Desmond, that tutored both Manning brothers. He'll be watching with interest on Sunday night. But what about this new Tennessee offense?
Well, I spoke to Coach Cutcliffe and Eric Ainge last week. Both guys said that what he did to Eric's confidence was put him in the film room. He said he wanted to start with him mentally and work his way down. He taught Eric how to break down defenses, look for little tendencies, look for even weaknesses in the defense. And then he taught Eric how to evaluate himself on film, look for maybe inconsistencies and things of that nature. The second thing he talked about was tempo. He's big on tempo. Eric is 6'6", so his drop was like a long, lumbering drop. He likes the tempo to be quick. He wanted Eric to get in the pocket fast, read defenses quick so he can make better decisions. With that being said, the most impressive thing I saw last week from Coach Cutcliffe was when he attacked Sidquan Thompson, the defensive back of Cal, who's a freshman with a cast on his wrist. What do you know? 2 touchdowns later, Eric's confidence was soaring through the roof.
Well, that brings up the point, though. They went after that young corner who was banged up, and your beloved Cal team is smoked him pretty good, but you're not necessarily sold on the Vols offense based on that, though.
No, not so fast, my friend. They got to do a lot to prove me. Let me tell you something. Tennessee scored 3 touchdowns in 6 plays, and 2 of them were against freshman cornerbacks. They have got to prove to me they could drive the football the length of the field like Notre Dame does against a good team. Now, if they beat a Cal team that's not bad, the highest-ranked preseason Cal team in 54 years, they're back, Tennessee is, with a vengeance, but on defense. They took Cal behind the woodshed. They're a very good defensive team. I still have questions about their offense.
You still have questions about the defense is back, offense still.
A question.
Question mark. You'll find out after Florida. We're all going to find out after Florida how determined his team is. That to me, I thought David Cutcliffe touched on something very interesting. He used the word hunger. Tennessee was embarrassed after what they went through last year. The players went to Tennessee. When they signed a letter of intent, they went to Tennessee to win an SEC title, to win a national title. They were embarrassed, and if they can hold on to that, sustain that rage that they showed and played with last week, next week against Florida, because they'll go right through Air Force. But next week against Florida, I picked Tennessee to win the SEC East at the beginning of the season, and a lot of it had to do with what's between their ears, the determination that they played with last Saturday. They've got to hold on to that. If they keep playing like that, it's going to be hard to beat that team.
I believe that you're right, that hunger is the key, and Fulmer a little bit hot under the collar after that 5-6 debacle. But, you know, beating Cal didn't do anything for the SEC race. And that big win is going to be forgotten.
Exactly.
If the Gators come in there and do it, it undoes it. So.
It'll be tough to go to.
A lot of football.
And you'll be ready for another pep talk. And you'll be firing up the Big Orange Nation as scheduled next week. I can't wait for that one. Woo! Coming up, the Burnt Orange Nation was lit up by Vince Young a year ago. We'll have an inspirational pep talk from their former leader, Tennessee Titans these days. And the leader of Ohio State, their number 10, Troy Smith. We'll hear from him coming up as well.
Yeah, we're coming out.
An all-new Contender, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Why you always get the front seat?
Because I have the higher education.
What do you
I
mean?
took honors classes.
In high school.
Hey,
it's Bobby Bowden.
I'm going to touch him.
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness.
I'm still going to touch him.
Part of Allstate Your Choice Auto Insurance. Are you in good hands?
That wasn't him. But you still touched him.
It's time to head southwest during Applebee's new Southwest Fiesta. Try everybody's new favorite, the Quesadilla Burger. Angus beef wrapped in a tortilla, smothered with pico de gallo and pepper jack cheese. Only at Applebee's Southwest Fiesta right now.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
The last sound you hear before you step on the field. Click, clack. Quick, clack.
Click, clack. Click, clack.
I think the air was coming.
I'm told that I'm very photogenic.
From the director of Scarface.
No reporters view the body.
Comes the untold story of the greatest unsolved murder in history.
Who killed the Dahlia?
The Black Dahlia. Rated R. Starts Friday.
Thursday, September 21st. Make a move with TV's hottest doctors.
Mama.
It's a new season and a new night.
Do women have 2 sets of panties?
The season premiere of Grey's Anatomy, Thursday, September 21st, only on ABC.
Following us from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, Frank Beamer and the Hokies go on the road for an ACC test. Should pass that one. They got Boston College in a bigger test for Sean Glennon and that Hokies offense on a Thursday night.
Hokies better be ready today against that athletic Tar Heel defense.
Ooh, an early lean.
Be ready.
All right. They're ready here in Texas. The guy used to keep them loose and relaxed before the big games, Vince Young. Now, he's not here, but he's here in spirit today.
Hey boys, UT fans, how y'all doing? Miss y'all a whole lot. What's up guys? Coach Brown, Coach Davis, all the rest of the guys, Mad Dog and the crew. Just to let y'all know, hey, y'all about to win this ball game. So get on y'all feet, get excited, because the boys are finna come out there smoke right about now. So fans, get it up, band, cheerleaders, everybody, get it, cowgirls, let's get it going. And even though I'm not there, Coach is going to handle the business, and the rest of the offense and defense, they're going to take care of business. And the guys, Ohio State guys, I'm sorry, y'all some losers today at home in Austin. Hook 'em on.
He delivered that with the same confidence he used to rule over that huddle for Texas. 91% of the Longhorns' offense against Ohio State in that victory on the road. Now, Ohio State certainly not demanding from Troy Smith the same kind of workload that Young had to carry, and he's already proven, the Buckeyes number 10, how capable he is in the clutch, entering a couple of wins against Michigan and, of course, that big Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. He did not come through in that road game against Penn State. That's the one disappointing start of his career. but his legacy will grow to epic proportions if he can engineer a road victory here tonight against Texas. We welcome in ABC's Lisa Salters with more on Troy Smith's interesting story, Lisa.
Well, Chris, Troy Smith will be the first one to tell you that he was not a complete quarterback a year ago. Sporadic is the word that Smith uses to describe the player he used to be, just all over the place. But if you ask him now, he'll tell you that the guy who was just balling before is now actually playing the quarterback position and is, without question, the leader of the Buckeye team. Lines. Everywhere. Separating. Defining. In many ways, Troy Smith's Ohio State career has been drawn by lines, on and off the field. His story?
A guy that came from pretty much the bottom, and I don't want to say I'm at the top yet because I'm not. Not say I'm at the top yet because I'm not.
On December 29, 2004, as the Buckeyes took the field at the Alamo Bowl, Troy Smith was at home in Ohio. He had been suspended 2 games for crossing the line, reportedly for accepting $500 from a booster.
It was probably one of the, the worst feelings that a player who had a hand in, your team's success could go through. That night I was sitting at home watching that game. That had to happen for a reason because it touched a part of my heart and soul that I don't want to feel again.
Smith also missed the 2005 season opener and didn't start the following game against Texas. But in the wake of last year's loss to the Longhorns, he took over the starting job for the Buckeyes and led Ohio State to 9 wins in their final 10 games, culminating with victories over Michigan and Notre Dame. For Smith, it was a lifeline.
When he first came to Ohio State, he was trying to find himself. Now he's the quarterback. He's the man. He's got that confidence. He's got that swagger, and he's really becoming a special player.
By a defender to the 5 and into the end zone. Troy Smith had everybody fooled. 5 touchdown, Troy Smith.
Smith had crossed the line again, only this time from mere player to team leader.
I think there's a difference between a player, a playmaker, and a leader. Playmakers make things happen. Leaders lead by example. I have to say I'm a leader, being there for my guys and then knowing that every play, I will be there for them.
Walkthrough, I asked Smith, who is the one guy on your team who keeps you grounded? And without hesitation, he said Ted Ginn Jr. Now, obviously the two grew up together and are extremely close, but he said that Ginn is the one that when he's out on the field and he gets too hyped up or he gets angry out there on the field, that Ginn is the one who calms him down and keeps him focused. Chris?
All right, Lisa, thank you. And Ginn trying to show in a tough situation how much he's grown up in a year since he did not come through very big in that Penn State game. Smith has come through in those 3 biggest starts, the victories, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 2 rushing touchdowns. You combine the Michigan games and the Fiesta Bowl. How well he and the offense moves tonight, Kirk, and how they call plays for him just might depend on how dominant the Ohio State defense can be against Texas.
Yeah, I think the defense for Ohio State is very, very important in what they do against Colt McCoy. But on the other side of the football, you're hearing a lot about Troy Smith. When you face a defense that is athletic as Texas and has a scheme, the way they can take away what your strength is, the one thing you have to have is balance. Ohio State has to have the ability to run the football and throw the football. And when they throw the football, they're going to look for opportunities to get the ball to Teddy Ginn every single time if he's alone in single coverage. And the thing about Teddy Ginn and the way he's improved is right here. His route running, the way he's able to recognize coverages and be able to adjust his routes. Here's a great example right here in the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. All of a sudden, his quarterback starts to scramble. Teddy Ginn goes back off of his route, sees the quarterback, and Troy Smith and him have great feeling for one another. But again, I got to go back to the balance. Texas is a very, very good defense. They can take away the running game. Can't be just Teddy Ginn and Troy Smith. Yep. Anthony Gonzalez has to get involved. And a guy we haven't talked about all week is Antonio Pittman, number 25. They're running back along with the true freshman, Chris Swells. They all need to be involved to try to score against this Texas D.
And you showed the games against Notre Dame. They had 617 yards against Notre Dame. Wow, I'm telling you. Now, Texas has got a pretty good defensive coordinator in Gene Chizik. He's won 29 straight games at Auburn and now at Texas. And you know his secret? He plays at least 20 different guys in every game. Why? He keeps them fresh. And let me tell you something. If you're going to win the game tonight, Texas has got to get to Troy Smith. And if they do, I got the perfect guy to go after Troy Smith. Watch this guy, my favorite. 98, Ryan Arakpo, 6'4", 238. The Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. And there, my other favorite, number 27, Michael Griffin. Watch this. Wow! Oh, he led the nation in tackles last year. But listen to this. If the poor old Longhorn defense has any chance, the Ohio State offense has got to play their worst game, and poor Texas has got to play their best just to keep this game close.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see about that in a second. I'm glad you mentioned Pittman, who's excellent, and Wells, who's a freak of nature, because the Buckeye running backs sometimes get overlooked, and both those guys can play.
That's the area they've improved the most. Since going back to 2002 when they had Claret, from this point on, this is the area they've become much, much better.
But they've really digressed in kicking, and that would concern me in a road game. You got Aaron Petrie and a 27-year-old walk-on from South Africa named Ryan Pretorius, 0 for 2 kicking field goals in the opener. I mean, that Tressel doesn't know what to do without a reliable field goal kicker.
That's against the computer. It's tough.
That's right.
We'll see.
See if
a lot of football to be played tonight.
That's
the kicking field goal is different.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Michigan, boo. Thank you, Ohio State fans. Right on cue. Mike Hart. It's a 12:10 Eastern Time kickoff as the Wolverines are set to battle Central Michigan. We come back. Final selections in all of the day's biggest games, including this 1-versus-2 showdown. The headgear, ever since Brutus' head was put on for the first time back in Columbus, is currently locked away. Who's it going to be? Brutus or Bebo? We come back.
Day is built by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. And in part by the Gillette Fusion Game Face College Tour. And Pontiac. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance. Go to ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac.
This is the supply line, and it's connected to the angle stop.
Hey, Dad, can I help?
Not right now, Jake. This is a grown-up job.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. Want to hold the flashlight for me?
Okay. What's that?
It's a supply line.
Supply line?
This is an angle stop. Supply line goes.
If you haven't discovered the miracle of fusion, it's time you did. Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, plus the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual and battery powered. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Gillette Fusion.
The numbers are growing every day. In Miami, New York, places like Chicago, San Francisco, and LA. One of the fastest growing brands in some of America's largest cities is Pontiac. Pontiac, designed for action. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance. Almost $200,000 in general scholarship contributions is on the line.
Where should you be right up until kickoff? You guessed it. The crew is back for another season of Countdown. Can Tio and the Tuna get along? And is Carson better than ever? Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Saturday. Nothing to complain about, unless you're working, in which case we hope you're complaining. But cheer up, because it's only 2 days till the Vikings face the Redskins at 7 o'clock and the Chargers take on the Raiders at 10:15.
Saturday's Selections is powered by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Little more than 8 hours to kick off here at Austin, Texas. The first 1 versus 2 in the regular season in 10 years. Selection on that game coming up in just a second. Meantime, at the top of the hour, Chad Henne in Michigan set to take on Central Michigan. Now, the Wolverines probably watched the tape, and they saw that Central did a good job against Boston College in the opener. They really rallied late, had a chance to win that game, if not for a late interception. Meanwhile, the Wolverines have just this game at home to get ready for that big road test at South Bend next week. We don't know much about Michigan yet.
But that's an excellent point. They got Notre Dame next week. I'm telling you one thing. There is no way they'll be ready to play Central Michigan, but they're good enough to beat them without even playing well. They got Notre Dame next week. That's a big game.
Let me decode that for the Michigan fans. This has all the makings, one of those sleepy, hazy afternoons in Ann Arbor where you're kind of tired, a little bit, belly's a little bit full. It's a quiet stadium because you don't respect the opponent. Looking ahead to Notre Dame. It'll be quiet, boring. It'll be 3 quarters of fairly competitive football, boring football, and then Michigan will do enough to win. And then they'll look great next week against Notre Dame. You've seen that a million times. It's that hot, hazy crowd wants to get back to tailgating.
Well, they have tickets for being inside the big house. But let's take it out in the lawn and socialize just outside the stadium. I got you. I got you. Wolverines season really begins next week in South Bend. Time for our Pontiac game-changing performers league.
Well, mine plays for Texas. Number 4, Limas Swede. Why? In his career, he's averaged 40 yards per touchdown reception. He beat the Buckeyes on a 24-yard touchdown reception last. He's a game breaker, a game changer, and he's everything. And he also drives a Pontiac, which makes him my guy.
Wow, you really did some research there, and he's been a different player since last year's game against Ohio State. How about Will Proctor? He's my Pontiac game changer. I think Will Proctor's got to play well. First test now as a starter. Now that it's his team on the road in Boston College, he's got to play well to help James Davis out, and I think he has a chance to play well.
You guys like to go with the glamour players, but I'm going to go with the guys up front for Texas who will have to play well tonight if those playmakers for Texas are going to succeed, especially the freshman quarterback, Justin Blaylock, and Lyle Sinline, and big old Casey Studdard. My Pontiac game-changing performers, the Texas offensive line. Now, later today, Coach Kirk and I are going to help pick 4 plays. The Pontiac game-changing performance nominees for the week. You can go to ESPN.com, search Pontiac, find out what the plays are, and vote for them. Have the results of your vote on Thursday night. Time now for our Pontiac Saturday selections. We start with, I think, one of the more intriguing games of the day. You know, it's an interesting contest. Oregon against Fresno State, ESPN2, 10 o'clock Eastern time. WAC versus PAC. Trap, I think, for the Ducks.
And there's no question on it. But how in the world can you go against Oregon and those beautiful green jerseys and everything? Nike gave them a bunch of stars on them. I'm going with the jerseys.
You know, they're playing on the road, though.
I don't care.
It might be a beautiful
white jersey with stars.
With the stars on it. I keep in mind, last year in this game, it was 37-34 when it was played in Eugene. It's going to be a tight game, but the difference, I think, is if Jonathan Stewart can play and get it done. I like Oregon, but a close game. Pat Hill thrives on these opportunities.
Close games, typical for Clemson and Boston College. It's up in BC. The weather should be fine for the ACC opener for Clemson.
I like Clemson's speed. I think they outrun Boston College in the 4th quarter in a close game. Clemson Tigers win a close one.
I think their speed on offense will be seen tonight. You're going to see some great playmaking ability by the Clemson Tigers. I'll tell you, Tom O'Brien does a great job at Boston College. They're well coached. They'll keep it close, but at the end, the speed will prevail for the Clemson Tigers on the road.
That one's on ABC at 3:30 Eastern time. ESPN2 tonight in primetime. Arizona euphoric after being BYU at the gun, but a different deal against LSU. Or young Mike Stoops' troops ready?
No, they won't beat LSU. I coach against LSU. That place, it's a tough place to beat them. I like LSU at home in this one, but closer than the experts think.
Well, I think Arizona's improving. 3rd year now for Mike Stoops, but I think the heat and humidity eventually will wear down Arizona. That and playing in a hostile environment. They're not quite ready for this kind of scene, but a close game. I like LSU.
All right, SEC game in prime time on ESPN. I think you guys have kind of tipped your hand. You pretty much drawn the bad lines on this one earlier in the show.
I'm picking Georgia because of special teams over South Carolina.
And I'm picking South Carolina because of defensive speed, and Corey Boyd's going to have a big game tonight for the Gamecocks.
In South Bend, where there's a chance of thunderstorms, the first Penn State-Notre Dame game in 14 years. Can Jopa's young quarterback, Young Lions, win on the road?
I'm going with Paterno, Morelli, Corso, the Sopranos. I'm going with the Sopranos and an Irish.
That makes me nervous, but I think people are panicking way too early on Notre Dame. Notre Dame comes back home. Brady Quinn has a great game against that young secondary. I like Notre Dame, and they look much, much better this week against Penn State.
All right, we're going to pick the game these folks are interested in. We got a special treat. This will set up the headgear pick. We got from Fort Worth. You want to look over yonder?
Where?
There are 4 F-18s.
No
I know
way.
this is like your days back in the Air Force.
This is yesterday when I was in the Air Force.
They didn't have planes like this.
No.
But they're on their way.
Well,
F-18s from Fort Worth, Texas.
They'll be here, I think.
Oh, I can see them, boys. I can see them coming here.
Look at
Wait a second. Game Day has a flyover?
4 of them. 4 F-18s.
Oh, here they come.
Here they come.
Oh,
Watch
boy.
it.
Here they come.
Woo! Hold on, sweetheart.
All right. The question is, who will be flying high in the earliest 1 versus 2 ever in college football in the first in 10 seasons? Now, keep in mind it is early, so the loser still has a chance to get back. But only the winner tonight can control their destiny for that national championship inside track. And you know the winner tonight will have to handle the hype and emerge as the clear favorite. Can Ohio State come in here, get it done on the road, which is what Texas did a year ago? Now, I know the entire world is dying to know what you think about this game tonight, but I'm not going to let you do it because rules are rules, integrity because you're calling the game on ABC. Not allowed to make a pick on this game, but give us a key.
I'll give you a key to the game, and I think that Troy Smith coming in against a hostile environment, big for the Buckeyes. I'm really looking forward to seeing Colt McCoy, a young man who grew up in a city or a town in Texas with 714 people with one red light, one blinking red light. How does he handle the dream? The opportunity right in front of him is going to be the key because he's going to hit some adversity. The 2 quarterbacks are the key tonight.
I'm telling you one thing. I'm picking my cousin. Where's Bino? He left. He's so confident. Give me that hit. Give me Bino. All right, Bino. Bino, where are you?
That's what they were waiting for. Bevo's boys win at home tonight, says Corso. ABC has the game at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Kirk will join Bob and Brett in the booth. Stand by. Virginia Tech and the Tar Heels coming up.
ESPN welcomes you to beautiful Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We are less than a minute away from the kickoff of this ACC battle between 16th ranked Virginia Tech and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Football on ABC.
You are looking live at Texas Memorial Stadium, where a #1 ranked team visits for the first time in 56 years. But this time, it's #1 versus #2. It's Saturday Night Football on ABC.
It shocked and hurt them. Now it motivates them. The Buckeyes' bitter loss to Texas last year launched the Longhorns towards a national title. Tonight, they meet again. Two proud schools with historic, storied football programs. Both teams the embodiment of the states they represent. The values ingrained in their hearts collide on the field. For the first time in 10 years, #1 against #2 in the regular season, and earlier in the season than ever before. A game with far-reaching implications and deep personal motivations. For one team, reaffirmation. For the other, revenge. For both, a reason to believe the national championship is their destiny. Ohio State and Texas play tonight on Saturday Night Football.
Welcome to ESPN's Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines. Here at Texas Memorial Stadium, it's the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes versus the #2 Texas Longhorns. For 1 year, fans of both these schools have waited for the rematch. And the game in Columbus last year was a classic. We should be so fortunate to have one just like that here tonight in Austin. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Kirk Herbstreit and Bob Davie. Not a whole lot you can say when you got 1 versus 2, but we'll try. A couple of great stories. And, Kirk, let's start with the Texas quarterback, Colt McCoy.
Well, Brent, what a story. Colt McCoy grew up in a small town in Texas. High school coach. His father was a high school coach. He's really waited for this opportunity his whole life, and now it's here. He's going up against the #1 team in the country. He has all the physical abilities, the quick arm. He manages the offense, but he's never been in this atmosphere. How will he handle this kind of crowd and this kind of hype? Very, very important for Texas to get him the ball early and to get him to relax and just make a good throw to get his confidence going.
And Bob, a year ago, it was the Buckeye defense with the stars. This year, it's the offense.
Well, Brent, it's obvious to me why this Ohio State offense is getting so much attention. It's because they have so much talent. I think they have 2 legitimate Heisman Trophy candidates on offense. I also think Troy Smith is the most improved quarterback in college football. He can make all the throws. Ted Ginn's always been a dynamic return man. He's now a dynamic receiver. This Texas offense is for real.
Absolutely, and I think you can both agree. The matchup of the quarterbacks is critical. And when you think of it, which one tonight will experience the thrill of it?
Watching ESPN College Football on ABC.
The numbers are growing every day. In Miami, New York, places like Chicago, San Francisco, and LA. One of the fastest growing brands in some of America's largest cities is Pontiac. Pontiac, designed for action. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance. Almost $200,000 in general scholarship contributions is on the line.
Jerry Springer. He may be the king of talk, but when it comes to his dancing,
I don't have a prayer.
Dancing with the Stars live 2-hour premiere only on ABC.
Then, from brawl room to ballroom, Jerry kicks up his heels with a 9 News exclusive interview.
I think dancing is my life.
Tuesday, Tanya O'Rourke is on your side with the next bad boy of Bossa Nova. See why he took the challenge and if the Spring and Springer step is enough to bring home the title.
Together, we'll dance for a better America.
After the premiere of Dancing with the Stars, Tuesday on 9 News at 11.
Rick Wilcoxon is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell a story, we hired an actor.
Originally, I switched to Geico to save money, but then I was in an accident.
Yeah, that's right. I was in an accident.
I got on the phone and called Geico.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, how's it going?
After a few days, I had my repair check. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I got the check. Got my car fixed. It's my birthday. Fixed my bumper. New taillights.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
It's my birthday.
I want you to hear the facts directly from me. I voted for 2 of the largest tax cuts in history, helping millions of Ohioans. Another fact, during 14 years in Washington, Congressman Brown voted repeatedly for higher taxes, including the largest tax increase in history, which even raised taxes on Social Security. I'm Mike DeWine. I approve this message, and I'll keep fighting for lower taxes for you and your family.
This
This is ESPN on ABC. John Saunders with Craig James and Doug Flutie. A couple of guys who've played in big games like the one you'll see tonight. Now, Texas, it seems like it was 5 minutes ago. They won the Rose Bowl and the national championship. Any advantage because of that?
Absolutely. You know it, and I know it. You know it. When you've been there and you've been on the big stage, it gives you confidence. You know how to prepare. You're not flustered right before kickoff. It's going to help young Colt McCoy when he takes the field for Texas. However, Troy Smith at Ohio State, he's 6-1 against ranked opponents. The guy has been in the big games himself. Maybe not like the Rose Bowl that you're talking about there, but he knows how to take his team on the road to give them success.
Ohio State, Michigan doesn't get much bigger than that other than 1 versus 2. And this is his stage, his coming out party. He's going to be excited. I know he's been there before, but he is going to be fired up to play this game.
All right. A game played earlier today. The Fighting Irish from Notre Dame trying to look impressive because they weren't last week. The defense got it done today. Tom Zbikowski returns this one 25 yards.
You know what? Anthony Morelli at quarterback was supposed to make plays to win the game for Penn State. Not here. Tom Zbikowski delivers the knockout blow. The old boxer does it to him.
41-17 was the final in that game. Right now it's time to take you out to Austin, Texas, to the Game Day crew. Let's join Chris Fowler and Lee Corso.
John, thank you. A warm evening here in the Burnt Orange Nation, but Lee, frankly, there are far tougher environments to overcome as a visitor in college football than this one. Those guys talked about Troy Smith's experience. This atmosphere, it's not going to beat him. Texas will have to beat him. And as for Colt McCoy, maybe a little piece of his predecessor, Vince Young, left behind, because this Texas team, those guys mentioned, it does look very calm and very confident.
Well, Texas is a very confident football team in this stadium. Why? Well, they've won 16 straight games here. They won 14 straight games when the game started after 5:30, and it's now 7:15. And also, they've beaten 9 straight ranked teams in this place. So I'm going with that confidence. I'm going with Texas. The Longhorns. All right, Texas. How do you like this helmet, Fowler?
I love the props, Lee.
Go, Texas.
Corso calling for a 22nd consecutive win by the Longhorns. Remember, the loser not out of the national championship chase, but it's only the winner who can control their destiny. 2 veteran, poised, mature teams ready to go. Kick it upstairs now to Brent Musburger. Brent, take it away.
And the Texas Longhorns, the defending national champions, ready to pour out onto the field. Even though they are second behind Ohio State, folks, they are the favorites because they're playing at home. So Texas and the Ohio State Buckeyes are coming up next on ABC.
Southwest Airlines fun fares are available every day to your favorite destinations starting at just $59.
You are now free to move about the country.
People ask me, do I see things flash before my eyes during a crash? I tell them, it's pretty much blurred streaks of metal, asphalt, grass, rubber, smoke. Oh, and those guys in fireproof suits. NASCAR 2007, rated E for everyone, EA Sports. It's in the game.
I grew up with Star Wars. It's a thrill to watch my kids experience the same thing all over again.
Rediscover. Do or do not.
There is no trap.
The ultimate adventure with your family.
I love the characters.
Darth Vader's just cool.
I am your father.
Impressive.
I just love the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
They're timeless.
The Star Wars trilogy is now available on individual DVDs to share with your family. For limited time only, September 12.
I would love to have a pet Wookiee.
Why you always get the front seat?
Because I have the higher education.
What do you
I
mean?
took honors classes.
In high school.
Hey,
it's Bobby Bowden.
I'm going to touch him.
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness.
I'm still going to touch him.
Part of Allstate Your Choice Auto Insurance. Are you in good hands?
That wasn't him. But you still touched him.
This ESPN production is available on ABC HD, presented by Dish Network. Well, Texas without a couple of players tonight because Mac Brown suspended starting corner Terrell Brown and backup linebacker Tyrell Gatewood after their arrest on misdemeanor marijuana and gun charges earlier in the week. The drug charges against both were dropped yesterday because former linebacker Aaron Harris, who was driving the car, took responsibility. The attorney for Brown says he expects the gun charges to be dropped early next week. Lisa Salters, the fourth member of our team, has more on the story. Lisa?
Well, Brent, Terrell Brown's attorney let me speak to his client for a couple of minutes yesterday.